What you about to say? Man, you believe that shit if you want to.
I tell you that shit they be putting on there. If you ain't looking at the right shit, you're watching bullshit. You're watching that shit they want you to watch. They program your ass. Fucking programming. God, I feel sad.
But I can tell you did not want to drop them dogs off. It ain't even that. You just want to make sure they ain't gonna get mistreated. Cause I ain't gonna lie, Tiger was not the same. It took Tiger a minute to get back normal after he came back from there.
We didn't go to this one.
Oh yeah.
We didn't go to this one. That's when they said that they were full,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't go to them.
30 minutes on live real quick.
When I get the balls from over there. I just hated the damn. I couldn't spend the time that I wanted to with them dogs because I knew they wasn't mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know that they weren't gonna be mine. I didn't want to get stuck with them, and I know I was getting.
I was getting cussed out, boy. They kept using the bathroom. They kept doing all types. I was like, Lord have mercy. It was the little one. It's like he couldn't. He kept drinking.
Yeah. They could have been. They'll get shots and stuff too. But if I find a place before then, I'll get them babies. If they still there, I'll get them. I'm hoping they won't be there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that somebody will get them by then.
What's that movie we were watching last night with them vampires, but we didn't sit down and watch it
That
until
was
like the
Sinner.
end?
That's Sinner. I've done seen that thing 4 times now.
I gotta look. I gotta look at that. I gotta look at that movie again and get the full. Cause I just didn't get. It was the ending of it, and then you was telling me, but then you was like, it's the songs they wanted the song.
Last night, immigrant rights advocates scored a major win against the Trump administration. Remember this video? It was captured by an immigrant who managed to sneak a cell phone into the ICE detention facility in Lower Manhattan. And in the video, you can see more than a dozen men sleeping on the floor in an overcrowded holding cell. One immigrant can be heard saying that they are being treated like dogs. And at some point, the camera pans to show that the room these men
For
are
the
being
people
kept
that
in
was
is
homeless.
also
No,
bathroom.
these are the
With what appears to be
immigrants.
only one working toilet for more than a dozen men. Now that video is the only glimpse we and the public have been able to get of the facility on the 10th floor of 26 Federal Plaza in Manhattan, where ICE has been holding an untold number of immigrants, despite the facility not being designed to do so at all. It's not what they're designed to do. Now, for months now, multiple members of Congress have shown up at that facility, demanding entry. We've been talking about it on this show for months. Legally, any federal detention facility must allow members of Congress inside at any time so they can conduct oversight. But over and over again, ICE denied them entry. At the same time, immigrants and immigrant rights organizations have alleged that the facility is overcrowded and unsanitary, and that immigrants held there are being denied access to medicine and to lawyers. The government had been adamantly denying those claims, saying they were, quote, categorically false. Now, I say the government had been denying those claims because yesterday, when a government lawyer was forced to confirm or deny those allegations in court, the government's lawyer conceded that all of those allegations were in fact true. The government did not dispute that there were no beds or sleeping mats in the facility, or that immigrants were not given access to medication, or that immigrants were denied in-person access to legal representation.
Meal delivery.
The person who has brought us together for this fight of all fights is our friend, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank all of you. In the spirit of that African proverb that Senator Padilla was referencing, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. And I look back at this audience, and I look at all of you united in this cause, and I'm reminded where we are at this precious moment in time. We are in Los Angeles. The most diverse city in the most diverse county, in the most diverse state, in the world's most diverse democracy. And I've long believed that the world looks to us, to all of you, to see that it's possible to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable and imaginable difference. What makes LA great, what makes California great, and what makes the United States of America great is that at our best, we don't tolerate our diversity, we celebrate our diversity. And it's a point of pride, because we're all in this together. Where are we? Democracy.
I dragged him out the way, Leon.
And right
I moved
outside,
him around how I wanted
at
him
this
so I
exact
could sit
moment,
back.
are dozens and
He ain't
dozens of
even
ICE
moved.
agents.
He was all dead.
He's just sat there.
Donald Trump.
That touched
Do
him.
you think it's coincidental?
It was fun.
Donald Trump and his minions, Tom Homan, tough guy, clearly decided, coincidentally or not, that this was a location to advance ICE arrests. Indiscriminate? Perhaps. We'll find out later. It was certainly indiscriminate when a 15-year-old disabled boy had a gun put to his head in Los Angeles trying to go to school just a few days ago. I met with it. I don't need to belabor this, except I want to level set. People are scared. People are fearful. You had a United States Senator who was thrown down to the ground in a federal building.
That was him. He's the one that got thrown
Alex
down.
Padilla.
In court.
His name is Alex.
He was outside the
Padilla,
courtroom?
not Jose Padilla.
And he was trying to go in. And they wouldn't let him.
That's the vice
And
president.
they
of the United
slammed
States.
his ass down to the ground and she treated him like a fucking criminal, boy.
It's another museum, not so far away from us.
And you ain't
Talks
supposed
about
to
those
touch him.
53 days. Some of you know what I'm referring to. Wake up, America. This is a serious moment. Wake up to what's going on. Wake up to the fear, the anxiety. Wake up to what's happening, not just here in Los Angeles, where we saw our streets militarized. We saw our due process rights thrown out the window. You heard the word disappeared. I was with a 12-year-old boy born in Oxnard, California, whose mother and father were disappeared. 20 years going to the same packing facility every single day, didn't even know how to get back into his own home, into his own house. Had no brothers and sisters. He has now disappeared in an attempt to find his parents. That's Trump's America. That's the moment we're living in. So these are sober times. And so I'm deeply grateful to all of you for standing up and for being here today. I'm grateful for all the elected officials that are here, members of Congress, not just our 2 U.S. senators, to members of the California legislature for having the courage of their convictions, for standing tall and standing firm, to recognize today is Liberation Day in the state of California. And as Senator Schiff said, Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back. Here's the good thing about California, folks. We're the size of 21 state populations combined. We're the 4th largest economy in the world. We're not a small, isolated state. I know they say don't mess with Texas.
Had some late payments on my credit report that were false. It was more of a frustration and a disappointment, and so I wanted that reported accurately.
Meet Tandrea. Her story is so worthy of celebrating that we made it into a book.
I give this advice to my younger self. Protect your credit at all costs if you do nothing else. Those are the words of Tandrea the Wise. You see, some years ago, she was in debt and had a credit score in the 500s. She wanted help from a place she could trust. That's when Credit Karma had her back. Direct dispute became her weapon of choice for errors. False delinquent car payment, gone. Cell phone debt she knew nothing about, out there. She was obsessed, eventually disputing thousands in debt. As a result, her score soared higher. A credit score over 700 was soon hers to admire. Now full of confidence, ready to tackle her next goals, Tandrea knows it's not about how you start, it's searching for new ways to get better that matters the most.
Big. We getting a lot of work.
And so we're here with our state of mind, with the clarity of our purpose and conviction, to recognize that we need to reconcile the world.
Feels like damn
we do
Obama.
have agency. We're not
They look
bystanders
good,
in this world.
and they can
We
talk.
can shape the future, and that's what we intend
They
to do
talk to
today.
people
We're here
down
because
there that
Donald
want to
Trump,
hear.
on January 6th,
And
tried
for
to
the
light
people.
democracy on fire, tried to wreck this country, tried to steal an election, as Alex just said, by trying to dial in for 11, almost 12,000 votes. And here we are, an open and plain sight, before one vote is cast in the 2026 midterm election. And here he is once again trying to rig the system. He doesn't play by a different set of rules. He doesn't believe in the rules. And as a consequence, we need to disabuse ourselves of the way things have been done. It's not good enough to just hold hands, have a candlelight vigil, and talk about the way the world should be. We have got to recognize the cards that have been dealt. And we have got to meet fire with fire. And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. We're doing it in reaction to that act. We're doing it mindful of our higher angels and better angels. We're doing it mindful that we want to model better behavior, as we've been doing for 15 years in the state of California with our independent redistricting commission. But we cannot unilaterally disarm. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district all across this country, not just in Texas, but in Missouri, where J.D. Vance went just a week ago, in Indiana, in places like Ohio, in places like Florida. We need to stand up, not just California. Other blue states need to stand up. We need to be firm in our resolve. We need to put... So we're here in that light, and I'm grateful to have remarkable partners in the legislature. It's a tall task. We're asking them for 2/3 of a legislative consent, but this is the difference. This is the difference between what's happening in Texas and what's happening here in California. I didn't receive a phone call from the President of the United States to then quietly go in the back room and start drawing maps and legislatively try to jam them through against the consent of the people. We're doing precisely the opposite. We're working through a very transparent, temporary, and public process. We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people. This will be the first redistricting that's ever done. That's the difference. We tried to raise the standards, and these guys are not playing by any set of rules. So this time requires us to act anew, not just think anew. And so I'm grateful to all of the remarkable leaders that have stepped up this unifying effort here in the state of California. And we'll be asking for the people on November 4th, a special election, coinciding with a lot of local municipal elections, to provide a temporary pathway for congressional maps. We will affirm our commitment to the state independent redistricting after the 2030 census, but we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite. And we'll do so in a way that also affirms our desire as a state to level the playing field all across the United States. We believe in a national independent redistricting framework. And we believe that's the right goal and the right thing to pursue. And I will just state for the fact, Zoe Lofgren, who runs our California delegation, she authored the bill. Democrats
I might take them
unanimously
outside.
supported that National Independent Redistricting Commission.
Quinn,
Republicans
come on.
are nowhere to be found. They want to rig these elections. And they want the power.
Huh?
Because
I'm not.
what Donald Trump is, he's going to lose.
Come on, Quinn.
He knows the fact that his presidency ends.
Oh, shit. Quinn, come on.